Okay, so today we're going to talk about factoring trinomials. Trinomials meaning they have three terms, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and to do this, we need the coefficients, the numbers in front of the letters. So the number here is x. We're going to draw ourselves a big X. In the top, it's always the first number multiplied to the last number. So 1 times 24, that gives me 24. And then in the bottom, we always put the number in the middle, which is 10. Okay. The numbers on the side, what we need here is we need two numbers that multiply to get 24, but add to get 10. Okay, so let's test them. Well, let's test 2 and 12. Well, if I add those, I get 14. That doesn't work. Okay, let's try 3 and 8. If I add that, I get 11. So that doesn't work. Let's try 4 and 6. Well, if I add that, I get 10. Okay, so these two numbers here are going to go onto this side like so. And we're going to put fractions. Put some fractions there. We always take the first number and the letter that it's associated with it, and we put it at the top. So each one's going to have a 1x. 1x. Okay? Right now, the fractions don't reduce. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer these into parentheses, each one. Okay? And we read it just like it is. So this would be x positive 4, so x plus 4. This one would be x positive 6, so it would be x plus 6. This here is your final answer. You are done. All right, let's try the next one. Again, it's the first number, which in this case, again, is 1. So it's 1 times 12, which gives me 12. And the bottom is always the middle, which is 7. So we need numbers that multiply to get 12, but add to get 7. So we'll do 2 and 6. Well, that gives me 8. That doesn't work. Let's try 3 and 4. Well, that adds to get 7. That works out. So again, we take those two numbers and write them on this side. Make them fractions. Okay, and always bring the first number and the letter it's associated with. So 1x and 1x. So again, none of these reduce. So we just bring this down. This converts to x positive 3, so x plus 3. This converts to x positive 4, so x plus 4. And there's our answer. Let's try the last one. Again, it's always the first number, which is 1. So in this case, it's 1 times 42, which gives me 42. On the bottom is going to be 17 in the middle. So we need numbers that multiply to get 42. Add to get 17. And that would be, I think it's 3 and 14. That adds to get 17. That works. So these two numbers go on the side. Okay. Remember, it was 1x squared. So this 1x that we have here is going to come and be the top of my numerators. Okay. They don't reduce, so we're just going to rewrite them. So this would be x positive 3. And this one would be x positive 14. Okay, so there's our answers. Let's do some more. This one's slightly different because our middle number is now negative. So again, we're going to do the same thing. It's going to be 1 times 33 in the top, which gives me 33. On the bottom is negative 14. So how this is slightly different is now both numbers that we're going to be multiplying have to be negative because two negatives make a positive, but if I add two negatives, it will stay negative. So let's do negative 3 and negative 11. That gives me negative 14. That works. So we're going to take these two numbers here and write them on the side. Okay, again, take your 1x, put it in the top. Again, none of these are going to reduce yet. It's going to come on Friday, so we're going to take care of that on Friday. Rewrite it, so this would be x minus 3, and this will be x minus 11. Okay, let's try the next one. Again, it's going to be 1 times 12, first number times the last number, which gives me 12, negative 8 in the bottom. So we need two numbers that multiply to get 12, but add to get -8. So let's try -2, -6. That works. So we write those on the side. Remember, always take your 1x and write it above. Again, these will reduce on Friday. They're not going to reduce yet. So our two answers would be x minus 2 and x minus 6. Okay, let's try the last one. Okay, again, it's always the first number, which is 1 times 21. Excuse me, 21. -22 in the thing. So we need two numbers that multiply to get 21, but add to get -22. So let's try -1 and -21. And that does work. So these two numbers are going to be on the side. Take our A and our C, our A and our letter, and put it above each fraction. And so this would be x minus 1 and x minus 21. There's our answer. Okay, and this one, again, it's slightly different because now our back number is negative. Our back number is negative. So again, it's that first number times the last. So how this will change, and the middle number, is now only one of our factors, only one of our numbers will be negative. So like, let's say here, what numbers multiply to get 15? Well, 3 and 5, but because this is negative, one of these has to be negative. So when I add that, that gives me -2. That doesn't work because I need +2. So let's reverse it. Let's make the 3 negative, and that does give me 2. So these get written on the side. Take your 1x again, do it on the top of each of these numerators. And again, they don't reduce, so this becomes x minus 3. And this becomes x plus 5. Okay, let's try the next one. Again, it's 1 in front, so it's 1 times -48, which gives me -48. 13 there. So we need two numbers that multiply to get -48, but add to get 13. Let's try, most of you will probably say -6 and 8. That gives me 2. That doesn't work. We can try -4 and 12. Well, that gives me 8. That doesn't work. So let's try -3 and 16. That does work. That's good. Okay, that gives me +13. So we got -3 and 16. Bring your 1x down. So we got our two factors of x minus 3 and x plus 16. Okay, and then the last one, it's going to be 1 times -20. Gives me -20, +1 there. So we need two factors of 20 would be 5 and -4. That works. Okay, bring your 1x down. And they don't reduce yet, so that would be x plus 5 and x minus 4. Okay, that should be good. If you have any questions, you can ask me on Friday.